In the US and parts of Canada, a tablespoon is the largest type of spoon used for eating from a bowl. In the UK, Europe and most Commonwealth countries, a tablespoon is a type of large spoon usually used for serving. In countries where a tablespoon is a serving spoon, the nearest equivalent to the US tablespoon is either the dessert spoon or the soup spoon. A tablespoonful, nominally the capacity of 1 tablespoon, is commonly used as a measure of volume in cooking. It is abbreviated as T, TB, TBS, tbsp, tblsp, or tblspn. The capacity of ordinary tablespoons is not regulated by law and is subject to considerable variation. In the US 1 tablespoon is approximately 15 ml. The capacity of an actual tablespoon ranges from 7 ml to 14 ml. In Australia 1 tablespoon is 20 ml. History: before about 1700, it was customary for people of European descent to bring their own spoons to the table. Spoons were carried as personal property in much the same way as people today carry wallets, key rings, etc. From about 1700 the place setting became popular, and with it the tablespoon, table fork, and table knife. The 18th century witnessed a proliferation of different sorts of spoons, including the teaspoon, coffee spoon, dessert spoon, and soup spoon. In the UK, the dessert spoon and soup spoon began to displace the tablespoon as the primary implement for eating from a bowl, at which point the name tablespoon took on a secondary meaning as a much larger serving spoon. At the time the first edition of the Oxford English Dictionary was published, tablespoon still had 2 definitions in the UK, the original definition and the new definition. In the 18th century, the tablespoon became an unofficial unit of the apothecary's system of measures, equal to 4 drams or 1 or 2 flours. It was more commonly known by the Latin cochlea majus or, in apothecary's notation, Phi ss or Phi gamma y. Variants: a level tablespoonful, the usual meaning without further qualification, is measured by filling the spoon and scraping it level. A heaping, heaped, or rounded spoonful includes a heap above the spoon. The exact volume of a heaping tablespoon depends somewhat on the shape and curvature of the measuring spoon being used, and so is not a precise unit of measurement. However, in most cases, the volume of a heaping tablespoon is roughly equal to between 1.5 to 2 times as much as a level tablespoonful. Common tablespoons intended for use as cutlery usually hold 7 ml to 14 ml, considerably less than some tablespoons used for serving. Relationship to teaspoon and fluid ounce: in most regions, 1 tablespoonful equals 3 teaspoons. In these regions, 1 tablespoon is approximately 15 ml, which is about 1 or 2 flours. In some places like the US, the tablespoon was historically defined as 1 or 2 flours. In Australia a tablespoon is defined as 4 teaspoons. Victorian and Edwardian tablespoons used in the UK are often 25 ml or sometimes larger. They are used only for preparing and serving food, not as part of a place setting. In writing volume-based recipes, an abbreviation like tbsp is usually used, to differentiate it from the smaller teaspoon. Some authors additionally capitalize the abbreviation tbsp, while leaving teaspoon in lower case, to emphasize that the larger tablespoon, rather than the smaller teaspoon, is wanted. The tablespoon abbreviation may be even further abbreviated to T in some cases. Traditional definitions: the traditional U.S. interpretation of the tablespoon as a unit of volume is: in nutrition labeling in the U.S. and the U.K., a tablespoon is defined as 15 ml. The Australian definition of the tablespoon as a unit of volume is: references. See also, teaspoon, dessert spoon.